Bridgerton season 2 episode 4, and boy oh boy, this show is getting more scandalous by the episode. Last episode I was telling y'all that Kate was not likable, and I'm sorry to tell you, but I don't like her this episode either. But she's in good company, because this episode was full of Kate, who I'm now calling jealous and a liar, because she lied to Edwina and she's jealous of Edwina. Poor Edwina, she's so beautiful and naive, and she need a new bestie, because this bestie, Kate, is not looking out for her best interest. She says she is, but I don't think she is. Then you also have hypocrite Anthony, because the same thing that he criticized Daphne of doing last year, he's doing all the same things this year, so he's a hypocrite. You got the conniving Miss Featherton, and that stuff blew up in her face. She's a conniver. You got Colin, who, what was he doing? Going over there to Miss Thompson, trying to sabotage her marriage. But you know what? She got him all the way together. I was cheering her on. She read him all the way and told him he was a boy playing a man's game. And then you got Penelope, who I love, but let me tell you, that stuff that she did to Miss Thompson last year, that stuff is about to be a backlash coming back on her. So when it came up with this plan that she thinks is brilliant, and she says all of a sudden she had an aha moment talking about she thought she needed Kate for Anthony to start liking her, but she realized that what needs to happen is she needs to figure out how Kate and Anthony can like each other. So she's decided she's going to put them together and create all these moments so they can get to know each other better. Girl, that's like getting a fox to guard the hen house. Bad idea. And you know who else thought it was a bad idea? Daphne, the married woman. Because Daphne was thinking about, shoot, that's how I got my man, spending time with him just as friends. But Daphne didn't want to open her mouth, but she sure was thinking it. You know, for Kate to be so smart, she always creates these moments when she can go off and be alone with Anthony. You know, they go hunting, and all of a sudden she can't follow more rules. She can't be a team member. She can't get along with other people. She got to do her own thing. You know, I really don't like Kate. I don't know. I'm sorry, people who love Kate out here, but she's not a team player. She only looks out for herself. She's selfish. She does what she wants. She's argumentative, all of that. I don't like her. So she goes off on her own. Then, of course, Anthony has to chase her. And then, lo and behold, here they end up in all these sort of intimate moments. For a girl who's so smart, she acts like she can't predict these moments. Girl, whatever, bye. Even Auntie had to call her out, talking about, why are you creating these moments? And then all of a sudden you put my hand on your bosom and all this other kind of stuff. And she's like, well, why you look at me? These two, they actually deserve each other, because I'm telling you, they are two peas in a pod. Everybody wants to talk about how Anthony is and how he was sleeping with prostitutes and the stuff that he did. The stuff that he does is borderline. Well, honestly, the stuff that Kate is doing back in that day, that wouldn't be allowed either. She's going off in the woods with men. She's darn near kissing men. So the stuff she's doing isn't allowed either. So they both the same to me. But everybody starts to see it. Daphne's starting to see it. Lady Danbury sure done caught on, and she's kind of a little bit disgusted by her. She had to have a little sit down and talk with Miss Kate. She had to tell her, you know, have you even told Edwina about the inheritance? Kate's like, nah, I'm still lying to her. I ain't told her the truth. So not only are you stealing her man, you jealous of her, and you still lying to her. Poor Edwina. This is not a bestie. This ain't a best friend. This ain't a best sister. This ain't a best of nothing. Poor Edwina. Just like Miss Danbury said, well, if it's what Edwina wants, if it's what is needed for the inheritance, why are you getting in the way of it, Kate? And you know what she said? Nothing, because she didn't have an answer. She didn't have the answer which she could say, which is the fact that she done fallen in love with Anthony on her own self. She wanted for herself, but she couldn't say that. And I liked at the end, just when she was about to tell Edwina the truth, and all of a sudden Anthony comes running out saying, wait. And Edwina's like, and then Kate is like, yeah, what do you have for me? He's like, oh, not for you. It's for Edwina. And then he ends up proposing to Edwina. Ha! That's what you get. I know it ain't gonna last, but I sure like the moment. I sure like the look on her face. I don't like it. I don't care if Anthony and Kate are gonna fall in love, because now I'm gonna get into the other stories, because in the end, their love is gonna come at the heartache of Edwina, and that's what I don't like. Unless they somehow turn this around, that Edwina doesn't get her heart broken and Edwina isn't hurt, then maybe I'll be okay with it. If it ends up being that Anthony and Kate are together and Edwina is the one that suffers from it, I'm not going to change my mind about Kate. Not at all. I like that we found out how Miss Delacroix and Penelope are working together. They putting that little Miss Whistledown newspaper in the hem of the dress. Then you got the conniving Mrs. Featherington trying to figure out how she gonna get her daughter Prudence married to Lord Featherington, and she coming with some scheme basically to trap him and say, oh, because you was in the room by yourself, now you got to marry her. And then all of a sudden she finds out that he's broke. That's what she get, that old conniving woman. That's exactly what she gets. She said, well, how you broke? You paid the dowry for Philippa. He's like, shoot, that was an IOU, a promise to pay. And I put up for collateral some fake ruby necklaces. Miss Featherington put herself in a trick bag, so it's gonna be interesting to see how she gets out of this one. And that even got Penelope all twisted, because Penelope would have sure loved to put that in her Mrs. Whistledown newspaper, but she knows if she puts that in there, she's gonna expose the whole family, and she's gonna get hurt too. I better figure out something else to write about in this issue. But I had wanted Penelope to get with Colin, but shoot, Colin is over here still chasing after Marina Thompson. He over there trying to sabotage her marriage. What's he going over there for? What's the ex-boyfriend coming over to your house when you are already married? But you know, when Marina got him all the way together, I was quite impressed the way she was turning him down. Here come Colin over here talking about you don't seem happy. So what? I don't seem happy. I'm married now. This man stepped up and did what he needed to do, something you wasn't willing to do. And even though Colin had told her, well, you know, if you hadn't lied to me, he would have still married her when she was pregnant. Well, she didn't know that. So if that was the truth, you could have still married her, but you didn't. So she ended up having to marry the other man. And here come Colin over there talking about all his single life, what he did in the single life, enticing the married man. That's how it felt to me. It felt like you married, and then the single guy comes over and starts talking about, oh, this is where I went. I went to Greece. I did this. I did that. And the married man who had to marry a woman he didn't really love, sitting there trying to live vicariously through you. Colin over there stirring up trouble. And then talking about he forgives Marina and he forgives Marina and that he apologized. And Marina said, you know what? I don't need your forgiveness or your apology. She said, you a boy living in a fantasy. And she says, I'm not trying to go back to no fantasy world. She says, I live a good life. He's a good husband and he's a good father. And I'm staying right where I am. And she's like, are you ready to go yet? She said, because you need to wake up, Colin, because there ain't no way I'm going back to that fantasy world that we was living in. Marina wasn't even in love with him back there. She was just going to use him to get married. She was in love with the brother. So, maybe Colin had fallen in love, but Marina never loved Colin. She says, you need to move on because your future is not with me. She said, instead, you need to be looking at what's right in front of you, Penelope, because you got a woman right there who loves you, but you don't even see it. And Colin's like, what you talking about? What you talking about? Boy, you over here trying to stir up trouble with Marina and her marriage and her life, and you got a girl over there in love with you. Go and get out of here, Colin. You're just trying to sabotage stuff. But when he went back over to Penelope, he's still kind of bitter and angry about it. And he starts saying, yeah, Miss Whistledown had meddled in the business. He might be with Marina Thompson by now. Lo and behold, he don't know Penelope is Miss Whistledown. So shoot, I don't know. I used to want them to get together, but if Colin ever find out that Penelope is Mrs. Whistledown, shoot, he gonna be done with Penelope. But that's it. Let me go watch episode 5 to see how Kate recovers from Anthony proposing to Edwina. See the look of shock and awe on her face. I know it's gonna be there. I know she's jealous. Talk to you later. Bye.